Hi, I'm Mike Gibbons.
And I'm Chris Harris.
And we're executive producers of The Great Indoors. Thank you for joining us live here on Facebook, which is new for me.
Yeah. We have time for one last question, right?
Let's start with the last question.
If you could post a tweet right now, what would it say?
Ledecky. Oh my God, the Olympian Ledecky. I'm obsessed. I'm obsessed with her. It would probably be about that. What about you?
I probably a confused question as to why my wife wasn't answering this text, because I would probably, I don't know what
All right.
I don't know.
Cupping is a big hot thing. Next question.
Oh, here we go.
What was the inspiration behind The Great Indoors? Okay. I was head writer on James Corden show on CBS. I also was on Tosh.0, so I tend to work with a lot of young writers, and they would make fun of me a lot because of how old I am. And so that is really how this kind of started. One day I went in and our writer's assistant had paid for lunch. I owed him money. I took out my wallet and I was like, oh, how much do I owe you? And he's like, ugh. And I'm like, what's ugh? I'm like, I'm not gonna write you a check, I'm gonna pay you cash. He's like, ugh. I'm like, cash is ugh? When did cash become ugh? And so he's like, can't you just pay me with Venmo? I'm like, Ven what? So he was incredibly disappointed that I couldn't use my phone for yet another thing in my life. And then he looked at my wallet, which none of these kids in my office had, and said, oh, that's really cute. Do you have pictures of your grandkids in there? So all of a sudden, I'm like, since when did 40-something become the new 80? And that's kind of what I wanted to get at with this. And it's a little bit of an extreme example of Joel McHale playing an outdoor adventure reporter, and he's forced to come work in an office with this millennial generation, and they are unrecognizable to him, and he's unrecognizable to them. And that's kind of how it started. And Chris shares a lot of that experience.
Yeah, I was brought in the voice of those kids in their 20s, and
clearly,
as
he
acts like an
less than I do.
As he acts like an old man and forgets what he was going to say in the middle of a sentence. All right,
Captain
next.
Dial-Up over here.
I have my phone is 1G.
Can you explain your process for coming up with storylines for the show?
Our favorite, some of our favorite things that we've come up with are, this is a cliche, but ripped from the headlines. There are so many stories that we're reading about and that people are bringing into the workplace, to our workplace, about dealing with millennials in the workplace. We have, there was one story about the person who, I'm trying to think,
Human resources?
Human resources, yeah, and the
getting in trouble at work, oversharing, like tweeting out work meetings and stuff like that.
You're not allowed to actually criticize anybody. You have to use praise. There are the stories of the kids who take a personal day and then build a treehouse and then post it online and not thinking or not caring if somebody sees it. So there are a lot of just things that are coming up naturally.
And our cast is very, it's life imitating art. They really are in there, and they'll come up, they'll pitch things like, you guys don't know about this, and so that makes it into these storylines. And it's also a lot of them about this guy coming into the city and really how hard it is, he learns, for millennials. They're saddled with student debt. They're living in tiny places, either with their family or like 400 roommates. And so this guy who could survive outside like crazy, all of a sudden finds it very hard to survive the millennial experience, and kind of has a new appreciation for it. So anyway, that's some of the storylines. Next question. We kind of just talked, how did the cast come together? It's pretty standard auditioning, but Chris and I are very open in auditions to someone rewriting the role. In fact, we're pretty bored with television in general. Chris, a lot of my shows are anyway, and Chris comes from How I Met Your Mother. He spent a lot of time there, which clearly was bored with a lot of the sort of typical ways of doing a sitcom.
And the more writing they do, the less we have to do, which
is
great,
But
that's a dream.
Christine Coe, who plays Emma, she came in and read it completely not the way we wrote it, and we exchanged a look and knew right there, this is not only who we're casting, this is what this character has become. And so all of them really are very close to the characters they play. And it happens all the time in rehearsals. They literally say things their characters would say. So it's very, in a word, it's very organic, and we got lucky, very lucky that way.
What was it like developing these characters? We keep answering it before we get the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did we answer it? We answered
I
it.
think we answered, so I'm going to predict the next question. No, I'm not voting for Trump.
We'll do our Karnak.
That's not it.
Do you have a millennial consultant on the show? We.
Yes, he's 9 years old. And he wears a coat and tie. And everything he says we have to do.
He drinks so much milk.
Yeah.
We are lucky to have a big group of writers that are a bunch of old people like us who think they know what they're doing, and then we brought in a lot of people in their 20s who are experiencing the stuff that we're talking about now, and we're using them for everything we can get out of them.
Yeah, we have really proud millennials on staff, in cast and in the writer's room, and then we have a lot of self-hating ones, and I recommend to you millennials to pick that up a little bit. Be a little more self-hating. It goes a long way. All right, next question. What do you think fans will love most about The Great Indoors? Probably the gifts that we're going to give out every show to the 1 millionth viewer.
The spontaneous abilities of their creators to
Yeah.
answer questions.
I think, without getting too heady about it, I think what's personal is universal, and I think if we're doing our job, you, the viewer, will relate to something that's annoying on our that we've tackled on our show, or some generational gap thing. We kind of have 3 generations on the show. There's the very old school Stephen Fry, there's Joel McHale, and then there's these millennials. And I think a lot of the issues that we'll tackle are again, we've ripped many from the headlines and from real life. So I think that will be the fun part for the viewer, is to relate to getting in trouble with human resources for saying something that you don't think is that bad, and all the new sort of definitions of what it means to work in an office.
What is the secret sauce to TV comedy? Oh boy. This is
Staying on the
terrible-
air. Staying
Yeah,
on the air.
we'll work
Well, we
on-
don't know it yet. How about that?
Yeah,
We don't know. Do you
we'll
know?
succeed,
Tell
and
us.
then we'll tell you.
How about this? This is for you guys. Write in. What is it? I don't know what the secret sauce is. What's your favorite show?
Who asked that question? Is that someone out there who asked that?
Yeah.
What? Come on, give us a softball. This is supposed to be fun.
According to NBC, it's setting a show in Chicago. We've done that. We had to get NBC's permission. Our show's in Chicago also. So maybe that's it. Oh, I know what it is. Following the Big Bang Theory. That's the answer to that question. You want to know? That is the secret sauce.
What should we expect in the first season? Besides a lot of secret sauce, there's a lot of fun stuff. Jack's character is coming in from the outside to the indoors. He's going to take the millennials, rip them out of the indoors, and take them out into the wilderness to show to his area of expertise and get them off their phones for a while. And I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Yep, they help him go on Tinder and all these dating apps and sort of find an apartment. And he's in human resources a lot, getting in trouble constantly. What else should we expect? Huge ratings because of you guys.
This will make a special appearance
Yeah.
and be critical to the plot of the show. We can't tell you what, but just watch out for it.
Yeah, so that's what you're going to expect. What do you like most about working on the show?
Promotion.
Yeah. Live Facebook chats. That's probably number one. No, it's being able, this show, to be sincere for a minute, this show is very, as I said, it's kind of organic, and it really is what we want to be writing about. It's literally autobiographical, and the actors we've hired, it's autobiographical for them. Joel McHale, it is for himself as well. We're all constantly, especially in this business, working with young people, and these storylines pop up all the time.
Yep.
So we're being told we have time for one last question, which we could go to this one.
Good choice.
How often do you use millennial slang words? Zero?
I barely use slang words for my own generation, but
Yeah.
that's because clearly I never talk to people.
I'm trying to answer that question with a millennial slang word, and I'm coming up blank. So I don't, not that often. I don't know how often millennials use their own slang words because they hate to be labeled. Okay,
So that's it.
that is it. I'm Mike Gibbons.
Chris Harris, thank you for joining our Facebook Live.
The Great Indoors airs in October after The Big Bang Theory, which is the secret sauce to all television success. So hopefully we'll see you there. And we'll be live tweeting and live Facebooking our episodes when they air.
Thanks, guys.